Give me some volunteers to read. Thank you, Carter. First sentence right here. Go ahead, or first paragraph right here, just at the top. Go ahead and read that.
The truth value of the statement is either true, T, or false, F. Statements are often represented using a letter such as P or Q.
And then read P for me.
P, a rectangle, is a quadrilateral.
Very good. Wesley, go ahead and read the second one here.
The negation of a statement has the opposite meaning as well as an opposite truth value. For example, the negation of a statement above is not P or
Squiggly line. Go ahead and read the negation for me.
A rectangle is not a quadrilateral.
Okay, so in other words, we're going to use the lowercase letters P, Q, and R in chapter 2 to represent statements. So go ahead and make a note of that in your notebook. Lowercase P, Q, and R will just represent statements. We'll see it all today, so I'll explain that further here in a little bit. The negation. Go ahead and say that word out loud. Negation. Negation. Make a note of this little squiggly line here. It just means not. Not. And you literally just add the word not in the middle of the statement. A rectangle is not a quadrilateral. Is the negation of a rectangle is a quadrilateral. Okay, simple enough. We're going to just keep moving on here. Those are just the three lowercase letters that will represent a statement. A statement.
Squiggly means not?
Yep, the squiggly means not. You're going to get a lot more practice with this as the day goes on, so just bear with me here. Okay, another volunteer, Domo, can you read this next paragraph for me right here?
Two or more statements joined by the word and or form a compound statement.
Mm-hmm.
A compound statement using the word and is called a conjunction. A conjunction is true only when both statements that form it are true.
Very good. Thank you. So y'all have this vocab term conjunction already written down. Just make it very clear in your notes. When a teacher says that means it's important. Make it very clear in your notes. Conjunction means and. Make it very clear in your notes. I should see pencils on paper. Conjunction is an and statement. An and statement. As y'all write, I'm going to read this example here. So if we've got statement P, a rectangle is a quadrilateral. What does that mean? Quadrilateral?
Has 4 sides.
4 sides. Q, a rectangle is convex. Then P and Q is the conjunction of these two statements. A rectangle is a quadrilateral and a rectangle is convex. And you can see the book literally just adds the word and in between the two statements. It copies those two statements verbatim, meaning exactly as they're written. Okay? So here we are with the two letters now, P and Q. You can literally just think of P as statement 1. Okay? And Q as statement 2. So the letters don't have any meaning in terms of the statement itself. It's just how we're separating the statements so that you can kind of organize the problems as they get a little lengthier. It'll start to make sense as the day goes on. So
The conjunction would be a rectangle is a quadrilateral and a rectangle is a convex.
So then this is the conjunction, exactly. Because it's using the word and to join statement 1 and statement 2 together, right? Okay, and then very important, again, when a teacher says that in class, that means you should probably make a note of it. This up arrow right here, can y'all guess what that means? And. P and Q. That's how you're going to see it. So the up arrow is the symbol for a conjunction. So the up arrow is a and statement. What do y'all think an or statement symbol is going to, or the or statement symbol is going to be? A down arrow, yeah. So if you get a down arrow, it'd be P or Q. Up arrow is P and Q. We'll get into that in a second. Any questions so far? Okay. Use,
Down arrow equals or.
yeah, we'll get there in a second. Yes, use the following statements to write a compound statement for each conjunction, then find its truth value. Okay, let's go through this. Now we got all three letters rocking. So we got three statements here, P, Q, and R. Three separate statements. The figure is a triangle, true or false? Yeah, we're looking at this picture right here. The figure is a triangle, true. The figure has two congruent sides, true or false? True. We've got our tick marks here. The figure has three acute angles, true or false?
False.
We've got two acute angles, and what else? Very good. Okay, so truth value, P is true, Q is true, R is false. Simple enough so far. Write the compound statement for each conjunction. So part A, give me somebody here. Hutton, go ahead and read part A, P and R.
P and R, the figure is triangle and the figure has three acute angles. Although P is true, R is false. So P and R is false.
Okay, so thank you, Hutton. So we're getting, again, literally P, if I were to circle that in red, color code this, and R in blue, right? The book is literally taking each statement verbatim, copying them down, and then just adding the word and in the middle. So I'm trying to help you see, let's not overcomplicate this, right? There's a lot of new material here. You guys are going to see it's a very word-heavy chapter in chapter 2, very wordy chapter. So we're not used to seeing these types of applications in math, but I'm hopefully today trying to set you guys up for the rest of the chapter. It really is pretty simple if you're able to break it down into its parts, okay? So it says P is true and R is false, which we had already made a note of up here. And go ahead and write this down. For a conjunction, if one statement is false, the conjunction is false. Write that down. If one statement is false, so R is false, I'll highlight that. If one statement is false, then the conjunction is false, P and R. In a conjunction, if one statement is false, the conjunction is false. Okay, part B. Lainey, go ahead and read part B. And again, remember, what's the squiggly line mean?
Not.
Not. Very good. Go ahead and read part B.
Q and not, is that in?
R.
R.
Q and not R. We could also say negation. That's our vocab term, but yeah, Q and not R. Go ahead.
The figure has two congruent sides, and the figure does not have three acute angles.
Very good.
Q and not R are true. So Q and not R is true.
Very good. Well done. I want you guys to be able to verbalize everything that we're seeing in the notes today. So the negation of R, if we go up here, originally we said R was false. When you see a not, the squiggly line, a negation of a statement, you flip the truth value. So if R is false, the negation of R is true. Right there. So now we've got two true statements, right? Q is true, and the negation of R is true. So in a conjunction, if we get both statements true, then the conjunction is true. Okay? Any questions on that? We're gonna bring this home here in a second. I'm gonna give you guys a table to kind of summarize all this. Any questions on that example? We'll move on. We already wrote this down. Up arrow is and, down arrow is or. Now we're going to go to some or statements here. Okay, Hunter Wayne, go ahead and be my next reader. Go ahead and just read this whole paragraph here.
All right, a compound statement that uses the word or is called disjunction. All right. P, Malik studies geometry. Q, Malik studies chemistry. P or Q, Malik studies geometry or Malik studies chemistry.
Exactly. Yeah, that's great. That's great. So again, super simple. We're just adding now, instead of the word and, the word or in between the two statements. Okay. So let's look at, yeah, we can look at this example together really quick. Write a compound statement for each disjunction and find its truth value. Okay. January is a fall month. True or false? False. January is in the winter. Good. January only has 30 days. False, only because the calendar is right there and it says it has 31. January 1st is the first day of a new year. True. Right? So now we've got P, Q, and R, the truth values for each, and we're going to write an or statement. Okay, we'll just do part A. Q or R. Q or R. January has only 30 days. I just copied it from here. Or January 1st is the first day of a new year. Right? So we just got that word or in the middle. Because it's an or statement, only one statement has to be true. Because, only one statement has to be true for the whole thing to be true. So January has only 30 days, or January 1st is the first day of a new year. We've got one false statement, Q, and we've got one true statement, R. And because only one statement needs to be true, the whole disjunction is true. And it says that right here. Q or R is true because R is true. Okay, how do we summarize all this, right? So we've got conjunctions and disjunctions. We've got these rules for each of them in terms of truth value. Okay, I'm going to give you guys just a second here to go ahead and copy this really quick to kind of summarize what we just did, and then we'll talk about truth tables. No need to write down this middle column. I just need the term and the symbol. The term and the symbol. Go ahead and write that down in your notebook real quick.